something thing that your dreams are made of. Oh gosh, oh gosh. Did that get rid of those first 10 seconds of doom? Probably did, probably did. Just saying, guys, just saying, guys. One time we went on these things here called Princess Cruises, and they were amazing. Not sure if many people go back onto cruises these days with all that's been going on in our lives, but sometimes people do that. So there's also the Irvine Company sends you stuff like this in the mail sometimes, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. Where you belong all season long. Fashion Island, Irvine Spectrum Center, the marketplace. So yeah, we got this in the mail recently. And there's a lot of fun stuff in there. Let's see if I can show you something useful. Something useful for the holidays. There you go. Something useful for the holidays. Very well printed, gotta say. It says Coastal Spirit and Holiday Magic. Celebrate the season in coastal style at Fashion Island with exclusive gifts from OC's only Neiman Marcus, unique local brands, and an array of delicious culinary experiences such as R+D Kitchen, a resort-like setting will take your holiday bliss to luxurious new heights. The center of the season is what they call it. Spectrum. Discover holiday fun for everyone at Irvine Spectrum Center with new styles of Lululemon, fresh flavors of Bristol Farms, newfound market, and full calendar of festive activities. Our paseos, paseos? I don't know. Are a wonderful wonderland of warmth and cheer waiting for you. Oh, buddy. Anyway, so there's Coco Chanel if you're interested in that, and a bunch of other things, but I think we all know that from Whoville, that the holiday cheer is what you're really looking for. Anyway, here. Don't forget to change out your tires if you haven't done so, because it may be that time of year when you get stuck on the road because something blows out. I'm really concerned about that, so I am planning to do that as soon as possible, because you never know when a tire is going to leave you on the side of the road. So if that's a good reminder for you guys to check your own tires, kick them around a little bit. What's that cool song? Or is it cool country song? Just something, my dad will kick your tires or something. Anyway, it was really cool. Look at this. A lot of rockets that I'm hoping. Did you guys notice that the Artemis is out there taking videos of the moon? No, I think nobody noticed that because they're all hot and bothered with the platform. That hasn't changed at all. It's just changed management, but it's just the same stuff. Anyway, I'm still stuck out of my Twitter accounts. I created a burner account so that I could leer with my beady, pesky, conniving eyes at Elon's performance and say, Elon, man, we could rule the world if you just took some of my ideas and put them in the Twitter, and maybe the world would be a better place. So can I use PayPal on Twitter? No. But come on, Elon, that would be something that would bring people back to Twitter. Can we use Twitter to post videos and make money on Twitter? No. Can I use my old account that Jack Dorsey kicked me off of for absolutely no reason other than I'm a retard and I can't remember my passwords? Can we get into that? No. Does Twitter have awesome customer service representatives that you can talk to? No. Well, then why do people want to go onto Twitter? I mean, the ultimate insult was Donald Duck doesn't want to be on Twitter. So, I mean, if Donald doesn't want to be on Twitter again because of that, I'm like, okay, well, I guess then what's the point? Anyway, we're not going to talk about Twitter anymore for now. We'll wait to talk about Twitter in the next live stream when I do planes and stuff, helicopters or whatever, in real flight. But before I go, I'm going to say one more quick shout out because we went to Universal Studios and it was a fantastic experience. But I forgot to say in my last live stream when I was talking about that, there was a really nice guy who was in our group, because it wasn't just me and the tour guide. There were a bunch of other people there, so I got to meet some nice people out there, and one of them came to say goodbye to us because I was not able to say goodbye to them during the thing because I was just busy puking and stuff. So we lost track of the group. We lost track of our guide at the end because I was busy puking. So one of those amazing people that was with us found us later on the way out of the park and came to say goodbye to us, which was really nice. And I forgot to mention that in the previous live, so I'm doing that now. There was also a fun idea that Austin and Tim and Austin together, the two guides that we had, our main guide was Tim, the other guy was Austin. Well, together they came up with this really fun idea where they were saying that a lot of things that happen, at the park and that they need to remind us of for safety features is because someone, at least at one point in the park tours, did it. And so then it becomes part of the show. You need to remind people not to do that because it gets wild. Anyway, so they had a cool idea for a series, be it Netflix or whatever, is stupid laws and how they came about. That's in a nutshell. It's not the exact words that they used, but that's in a nutshell what they were talking about, is that somebody should do a fun series about laws, the stupid laws that you would never think were laws, but they are there because somebody ruined it for everybody. So anyway, that is in a nutshell. I'm going to do a little bit of Arduino here because that is what we care about. We don't care about the dying bird of social media. We don't care a bunch of blah, 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 but we do care about our technology in our martial arts. So that's what we're here for, to chill out with 3D printing stuff such as this that you can easily get on CG Trader. Oh, anyway, so we have reached chapter 5 of this cool book, and so we will continue from there. Walking Humanoid Robot 9 DOF. So that, I believe, is Degrees of Freedom. And so there we go. So it says, a simple walking robot only needs 2 servo motors for each leg. Is that true though? A simple walking robot only needs 2 servo motors for each leg. I would expect it to have at least 2 per leg because you want to have the rotation for the leg, but also at least have a foot or an ankle motor. I don't know, but anyway, he says, I guess if you mounted the servos, okay, let's say these are the hips and you mounted the servos this way, and they just did a rotation like that. I guess you would only need 2, or you could do them mounted like this, and they could do this on it. I guess, I don't know. That is not a great way to do it, but I guess he's right. It could work, but it's not really walking, it's sliding. Anyway, one servo acts like an ankle to tilt and lift the other leg off the ground. Then the second servo rotates to move the other free leg forward. So technically, I was right. You still need a second motor to lift the leg off of the ground. Anyway, they can easily be made out of 2.5 inches by 5 inches pieces of plastic or aluminium. And some people will call it aluminum. Pick your favorite. The only necessary holes to be drilled are 4 holes for the servo bracket to be mounted to the feet. The holes should be beveled or countersunk on the bottom side so that the flat head screws will be flush to the surface. The servo mounting holes are 1.75 and 2.125 inches from the back edge of the foot. So fun fact here is 175. I don't know why so many people love this 175, but that also repeats itself in 3D printing. A lot of the filament that you're going to buy is 1.75. So yeah, that's a Fun fact for you guys. It says the holes are located 5/6 of an inches from the outside edges of the feet. So I guess that's 5/16 of an inch from the outside edges of the feet. I don't know. Up next is a picture of the cut and drilled feet. I used darker plastic to match up the rest of the robot, is what he says. So there you go. There's the image right there. Excuse me. I have not had breakfast, and the burpee come. Wow. And I'm extra burpy today because I'm still... It's weird. It's weird. When you go on those rides, the motion sickness is for some people, it's really bad, and it just carries on. It's day 2 after the fact. And my stomach is still not fully recovered from the motion sickness. But anyway, here is a picture of the feet with ankles attached to show how they will go together. The bracket from the bottom servo is a long U bracket. In the second picture below, it shows you the feet and the ankle, I guess, system. The arms and legs are each assembled first without the shoulder servos. The arms and legs are then powered up and verified to be correct in their servo position at 90 degrees. Shoulder servo and hip servo flanges are attached to the chest piece. Then the arms and legs are attached to the servos on the chest piece. I'm going to show you another picture of the robot fully assembled in this way here. So the one that I built was different because it had hip rotation, it had torso rotation. Everything was set up so that you could even lift one hip at a time. So it was much more complicated than this design, but this is what you usually can expect from most robots. I believe that Alpha, the robot, has a similar configuration as this, which is why it is not able to do a proper karate punch. You do not do a karate punch without proper hip rotation and torso rotation. So anyway, lots of bits and pieces for the moving puzzle. So it says, coming up next is a picture of the assembled and working 9 DOF robots. And again, as I say, every time you hear DOF, it means degrees of freedom. The shoulder servos work best if they are mounted in front of the chest piece. That arrangement leaves room for the Arduino and servo shield. It also makes it much easier to get the leg servo mounting screws. I had to adjust them to tighten them a couple of times as they seemed to work their way loose, and then a leg falls off. So this is one of those things. I usually don't need Loctite for any of my projects, even the RC cars or drones and stuff. I also do not bash them to death, as many people do. But generally speaking, I've never had to really use Loctite on my RC cars, boats, planes, drones, all that stuff. I really have never had to use Loctite. But I will tell you this, Loctite in this case for these builds robot builds such as these, is useful because the screws do not really stay on very well. And so once you've done all your tinkering, making sure things that run the way that they should, if you want it to be more secure, Loctite would be a good idea in this case. It says, the spacer in between the shoulder servos is just there as decoration. It looked like something was needed, so I put the spacer there. Let's put the spacer there. Oh, okay, so I think he put a spacer in between these 2 servos. I think he means this thing here. And he was saying that it is not really necessary, but you can put it in. Do as you will. Do as you will. I think the spacer could be useful, especially if the bot falls and stuff, because it will give it some extra support in there. That's just my personal opinion, but again, you don't need it. He says you don't need it. So if he says that you don't need it, he is the expert. Go by what he says. And if you notice in this version where he has it there, there is no spacer in between. So take it as you will. Up next is a picture of the backside of the 9DOF robot showing the wiring. The servo wires are all a bit long for this smaller robot. They needed to be tied up somehow so that they do not get tangled into the moving parts. The Arduino fits crosswise. One of its mounting screws is also used to hold the shoulder servo bracket in place. So here it is right here. As you can see here, it looks like it's wearing a bunch of ribbons or bows on it because they did a really nice job of sort of stopping the wires from getting into the parts. Of course, if you were to do this and wanted to create a finished product, you would have to do a better job of hiding the wires. Otherwise, it looks a little bit half done. But you know, whatever you're gonna do is your choice. So there you go. I'm gonna show you the next part because I'm gonna try to read it, and I'm gonna read it in a way that may be really difficult and may not work so well. So I might as well allow you to see what's on there so that you can check it out yourself later. So it says here is the 9DOF robot parts list. It says you need 8 multifunctional servo mounting brackets, 2 short U-type servo brackets, 2 long U-type servo brackets, 2 angled U-type servo brackets, 2 L-type servo brackets, 1 robot waist bracket. It says not pictured because I made my own. So he made his own. He might have 3D printed a piece or something. I don't know. Who knows? He says 2-foot base, 8 miniature ball radial bearings, 9 metal servo horn flanges, lots of screws and nuts. He doesn't tell you how many of those are required. He says 9 MG995 or MG996 servos, Arduino Uno and servo shield, both required for this project. Then he says, this is the code to make him walk 4 steps forward and 4 steps backward. Then he will wave his arms and shake his head depending on what servos are attached. So I gave one of my cool robots to Steve. It is really cool. It is called Plen 2. I gave him the regular system, and then I gave him some extra spares, batteries, and a bunch of other things. So theoretically, if he were to put that together, at some point we might have a cool walking robot, and the basics of how to get it to move would be right here in this book. So it says Humanoid 9DOF demo. He said that he did this on October 2015, so that was a while back. Again, by Bob Davis. Servos start at D2 as servo number 1, through D5 as servo number 4, then D8 as servo number 5, through D12 as servo number 9. He says, I skipped using D0, D1, D6, and D7. Whatever. For his robot system, he decided not to use or operate those 4 servos I just mentioned. Include serv.h, then servo 1, left ankle. So he talks about all the different parts. So he's got left ankle, left hip, right ankle, right hip, left arm, left shoulder, right arm, right shoulder, and head. He's got variables for all of that. And so the variables are going to look like what you're going to see here in this book. Again, you can get a free copy of this online, but I wanted some of the money to go to Robert J. Davis. He might as well be a doctor in computing or whatever. He's been doing this a long time. He might as well be a doctor in this. All right, so then there's chapter 6. Chapter 6, we will continue on with chapter 6. This stuff is riveting, and there's a whole bunch more cool stuff. It goes all the way to chapter 9, I think. Chapter 9 is the last one. No, I'm wrong. I lied. Chapter 10 might be the last chapter for this thing. That might be the last chapter for this thing. But we've got to chapter 6, which is walking humanoid robot. And we will put a thingamapoodle here to make sure that we don't lose our spot for next time. Otherwise, I will be reading the thing again and again and again. And it won't make robot making great again or anything, because it's just not how it works. So anyway, we're going to talk about the secret origin of Wing Chun just for a couple seconds, and then we're going to end the live stream because I got to go home to do some real flights. I want to bring you guys as much cool stuff all in one day as possible with these live streams because I'm tired of doing the editing, but I also have a lot of stuff that I want to edit for you guys because we went to Universal Studios and it was all very exciting and fun. So I thought, you know, I'd just add some stuff there for you guys to see. But anyway, just going to start by showing you some cool pictures here. And I will continue with the amazing book here that was written in collaboration with Grandmaster Tom Wong and a bunch of his students. Did a great job. So again, my video game came way before and was built way before the book was ever published or even initially recorded. So it's been a long time coming. My video game, where I was not able to operate, I've got to contact my friend who built it. But anyway, that is all water under the bridge a long time ago. So I think we got to Feng Xiu Qing. So it says in 1853, Feng Xiu Qing became a martial arts instructor for the police department. He was appointed as the martial arts instructor and guard for 2 courts, city military units, and Guangji Tai Court. Soon after he became the police chief, he reformed the department. Top and bottom pics, drawings of Feng Xiu Qing training. Therefore, Feng Xiu Qing became famous both for his prowess as an elite martial arts expert of unimaginable ability and as the head of a formidable police unit. Feng Xiu Qing was also a bounty hunter in the Sichuan province. In 1858, Governor Lock Bing Jen, a general under Commander-in-Chief Zhou Chengtung, I'm butchering all the names, I do apologize, recruited Feng Xiu Qing to be his right-hand man after Governor Lock's troops were badly defeated during the Boxer Rebellion and needed to be replenished. So his manpower needed to be replenished and soldiers, right? Hopefully, I don't know, people died. Hopefully no people died, but anyway, he probably needed people who were not injured to pursue whatever was going on there. Feng Xiu Qing suppressed the rebellions in 3 states, Canton, Guangxi, and Hunan. By the way, awesome food that you can get from all these places, especially Hunan and Sichuan. Big fan of spicy stuff, so lots of Hunan and Sichuan restaurants here also in Irvine, California. Woodbridge, and as a local Google guide here from Irvine, California, Woodbridge, I need to report that because you guys might enjoy some of that cool food that you can get around here. So in addition, he fought off the Russians and a Han warlord known as Aguba, the Slaughterer, and his troops. Named Xinjiang province with Governor Lock under Commander-in-Chief Zhou Chengtung. In 1867, Governor Lock and Commander-in-Chief Zhou passed away, and Feng Xiu Qing resigned from his position. He went to Burma and started a new garment business there to escape the political turmoil at home. Wow, so he had his own meow meow thing of his own. He wanted to but he created a successful business. Unlike me, I tanked it because I didn't do things the way you're supposed to. Anyway, Feng Xiu Qing was 74 years old when he finally returned to China. We've got a nice picture of him right there. Again, if you want to read this book yourself, you can find it on Amazon, I do believe, on the Amazon. So just type in the search in Secret Origin of Wing Chun, and you can find this cool book so that you don't have to listen to my horrible narration. Because, you know, I'm just saying hello to some nice people just walking by. They've got their, oh my God, it's that guy. It's that guy. It's the peskiest, most conniving son of a gun in the world. And I'm seeing him. He's in his car doing a live stream. Anyway, you either get those, oh my gosh, and laughter, or you get those dirty looks. They walk by and they're like, no, can't believe it. No. Maybe he won't see me and he won't walk out of his car and say hello. Say something awkward and make me feel horrible. Anyway, let's get back in here. So a young lady defeats a northern master in staff duel. This story was narrated by a 90-year-old Shaolin Wing Chun witness. So I do believe the staff is a long stick that many people call bow. I don't know why. You can't chuck arrows from it or anything, so I don't know why they call it a bow. When a young Feng Xiu-ching was passing by some open markets, he saw a northern Chinese man writing calligraphy on the floor. It said, "I will fight anyone with my staff. For a bet of 1, you can win 30. Wow. So you put down $1 and you can win 30. Within a month, this man had won many battles. One day, a young lady named Feng Wongloi from the Hunan province, must have been pretty spicy, nonchalantly walked over. Ooh, feeling the spice. Wiped the words off with her feet and threw the sign to the ground. The northern man yelled, "Did you see the words I wrote on the ground? Since you wiped it off, you must fight me in a staff duel or pay me. You can pick up any staff of your choice in my arsenal." However, the young lady said that she did not need a staff from him. Instead, she went to the bamboo forest to cut a piece of bamboo and took the bamboo to the match. As the match began, she hit his hand once and caused the man to drop his staff to the ground. However, the man said it did not count and claimed that he had accidentally dropped his staff. He demanded, "Let's try again." The man tried 3 times, but the results were the same. Everyone cheered. So he thought he could beat her, but she was so powerful and fast, especially with her bamboo, that she could just keep knocking his bow out of his hand. And so the staff that was around him at his company was like, "Dude, you suck, and she is so great." No. So it says, here's a drawing of her doing what she doodly did to him. And obviously she was the better martial artist. So Feng Xiu-ching went up to Feng Wongloi and asked for a lesson, but she refused. Therefore, he visited her daily with gifts. Eventually, Feng Xiu-ching invited Feng Wongloi and her father to live at his home as an adopted family member and offered to take care of them for life. Wow. The father and daughter were touched by Feng Xiu-ching's sincerity and decided to accept his offer to live in his home and teach him 6.5-point staff. Feng Xiu-ching treasured his hard-earned skills that he compiled through life and death battles. A person cannot become a true expert by merely knowing the theory and practicing forms. This is similar to how the famous General Yu Tao Yo brought 13 Shaolin monks onto the battlefield so they could learn how to apply their staff techniques in real combat during the 1600s. Later on, these staff skills would become a trademark of Shaolin Kung Fu. During the last 2.5 years of his life, Feng Xiu-ching taught multiple students that would become well known for countless public duels and fights. They included Ling Guang Fu, Zhao Zhenxi, Deng Xuandongjik, Man Chunyu, and Wu Si. And then additionally, he trained his adopted family nephews Yan Kai-san and Yan Chai Wang. I'm going to show you how it is spelled so that you can read it yourself and figure it out. It is not how I said it. So in the left pick, Yang Chai Wong, right pick, Yang Kai-san with his family. Yang Kai-san is Yan Chai Won, likewise became famous for their public duels and fights. Yang Kai-san and his brother Yan Chai Won progressed quickly thanks to their previous strong foundation in a related completed kung fu system from a teacher of the same lineage as Feng Xiuqing Fok Bo Chuen, the student of Divine Fist Luo Wanggong. Oh my gosh, I'm struggling here. Like, Divine Fist Luo Wanggong was also a student Yim Wing Chun and Longbo To. Later on, Yan Kai-san became Feng Xiuqing's successor, and Chu Chung-man, a grand master of Pao Fa Ling Wing Chun lineage, highly praised Yan Kai-san's staff skills, death duels, and reorganized his training from regiments in Aomei Wing Chun during my teacher. So, Sifu Sumnang. Sumnang was Grandmaster Tom Wong's Sifu, or instructor, or sensei. So he says, my Kung Fu brothers, Kwok Wenping and Kevin Chen, and my visits to Hong Kong during the 1980s and 1990s. The Yin family and their destined connection to Feng Xiuqing. Yuan Chongmeng was the fourth richest businessman in Foshan. That's another province. He was a state scholastic champion that became local official. As the governor of 3 states, he was highly influential in Foshan and had strong networks throughout the area. He also ran numerous industrial factories in Foshan and had his hands in real estate, banking, firework manufacturing in Shan City. This included the Yan Shi He Tang Clinic and Pharmacy. As Yang Chungmang's influence spread from Foshan, the central government appointed him as head of Hebei province and the leader of the Liaoning's province education, cultural, religious, and post offices bureaus. In addition, Yang Chungmang's identity as a prominent businessman and politician enables him to arrange marriages between his daughters and Governor Locke's family. The Yen's family connection with Governor Locke provided Yang Chongmang's sons, Yang Kai-san and Yang Chai-wang, the opportunity to become the closest disciples of the famous blood steel general military police officer and chief bounty hunter Feng Xiuqing. This was because General Feng Xiuqing was also an adopted family member of the Locks. As a loyal friend of Governor Locke, Feng Xiuqing's first stop back in China was to visit Governor Locke's family in Foshan. Governor Locke was born in Huashen, but his family moved to Foshan and settled there. We're going to leave it at that point here in this history book, and I will see you all soon in the next Chilling Out with 3D Printing and Books sequel, which will be coming up soon. But again, if you guys are interested at some point in getting a hold of some of these cool things that you can 3D print and then stick them on your RC car of choice, because you can do this and then you can drill little holes, whatever, or you can put magnets on these things, or you could staple these. No, I'm just kidding. Don't staple these things to your cars. That would be bad. But again, if you're interested in any of these kind of stuff here, it is all available on CG Trader, and I will accept your money. You can get all these kinds of figurines and stuff. You can even just, if you're good at 3D stuff, you can get these things, pose them in the position that you want, and they will still be 3D printable pretty much on any printer available, because I made them so that they would go on, they would print on the 1010, which is the worst printer in the history of printers. But once you learn how to print on that thing, you can pretty much print on anything. So that is why that is still a worthy piece of junk. Unfortunately, I can't say much about the company itself because they stole money from me. It's the only 3D printing company that ever stole money from me. So can't recommend you buy any of their products because, again, if you want, they don't have a proper customer support either because I tried emailing them and they ditched me. They never wanted to return my money. So steer clear of the 1010, but I'm telling you that all the stuff that the majority of the stuff at the very least, and again, if you buy something by accident or I send you something and it doesn't work, you will get your money back because it's CG Trader. CG Trader is very good about that. If you buy something that doesn't work, they will refund your money. And since you're buying stuff through PayPal, you won't get your account hacked or your bank account stuff messed up with, because that's a good thing to have. It is an intermediary, and yes, you may be paying a little bit more for fees and whatever because you're using PayPal, but at the very least, you are more secure. Anyway, so with that, if anybody does care to do any of that stuff, just let me know, and I will provide you with the models that you need, but nobody ever has. Not true. A couple of people did, and things did not go so well. So anyway, hey, you can always try again. Be stoic, be persistent, and something will go well eventually. Or after my demise, somebody can still contact my next of kin and ask them for the models. Either way, you never know what's gonna go on in life. So I'll see you guys on real flight pretty soon. But until then, have a great day. Have a great rest of your week, just in case this is the only video that you're going to see of me this week, because you're going on a trip. Have fun. Have fun. I'll see you guys later. Take care, guys. I'll see ya.